Former West Mercia Police Constable 31-year-old James Watts has been jailed for sending a string of grossly offensive WhatsApp messages containing memes mocking the death of George Floyd. The incident happened back in 2020 while Watts was a serving police constable with West Mercia, and the WhatsApp group he shared the memes to was one that contained colleagues. Watts admitted in police interview that the messages he shared were racist in nature and allegedly featured images of a prayer mat and a monkey. And for those of you who think I'm racist, that is the kind of incident that proves racism, not just because somebody's stopped by a white man and they happen to be black themselves. However, Watts wasn't alone in his derogatory endeavours, as colleague 41-year-old West Mercia Police Constable Joann Jinks was also charged with 3 counts of the same charge as Watts, which was sending a grossly offensive or menacing message by a public communication network. Jinks, however, unlike Watts, pleaded not guilty in a previous hearing and was bailed without conditions, while Watts pleaded guilty and was jailed for 20 weeks at Her Majesty's pleasure. Jinks is due to appear at Westminster Magistrates Court on August the 23rd to stand trial. In a statement announcing the charges, the IOPC said, "Our investigation began in June 2020 following a referral from West Mercia Police after intelligence was received by the force. Both defendants were serving West Mercia police officers at the time of the alleged offences." Handing Watts his little holiday, Deputy Chief Magistrate Tan Ikram told him, "These are the most serious offences. You have been employed in positions of considerable responsibility. At every stage since you were found out, you have cooperated with the authorities and accepted your wrong. But the fact remains that over a period of about a month, you continued to post messages which were grossly offensive. I do not agree with your advocate that this was stupidity or foolishness. This goes far beyond that. You were previously a prison officer. I have no doubt you would have received training in relation to diversity and inclusion in that role. At the time of these offences, you were a police officer, a person to whom the public looks up to uphold the law, but you did the opposite. You undermined the confidence the public has in the police. Your behaviour brings the criminal justice system as a whole into disrepute. You are there to protect the public and enforce the law, but what you did was the complete opposite. The hostility that you demonstrated on the basis of race makes this offending so serious that I cannot deal with it by a community penalty or a fine. A message must go out, and that message can only go out through an immediate sentence of imprisonment." You see, when someone refers to a person of colour and uses images featuring such things as a monkey, then that's absolutely derogatory and racist. I know there are people who would like me to call every incident the mainstream media call racist, but I simply refuse to jump on that bandwagon and would instead rather make my opinions based on the facts. Granted, a copper might have racist ideas, but unless that is evident in their behaviour towards someone, then we can't simply use that as a stick to beat them with. Personally, I'm glad that Watts is now going to have to spend some time in the same hotel as probably some of the people he sent there himself. Maybe a short stint clenching his butt 24/7 will remind him next time he wants to be a dick to think twice about it.